hand of fate decides where the fight will be. With half the time we see twice intensity. It's chaos, Krieg. It's chaos, Krieg.
Hello there and welcome to the quarterfinals of the Master League Tournament 3, Chaos Krieg. You're watching one of the highly touted players of the new era, hailing from the United Kingdom, playing as the United States Force. It is indeed Isildur.
And on the right, somebody that everybody will know already is DevM.
It is indeed, and the voice you're hearing is a player that you've improved so much this year, Borrow Badger. You've got a good stream going on, but you're getting a lot better at the game. It is indeed Borrow Badger from Northern Ireland. And, talk a little bit about that. How did you get so much better this year?
I think it's a lot of, mostly it's just practice. I know that's kind of a cliche, but it's just about trying to, put the hours in as much as you can and try and make the quality hours, I suppose. Like you learn from your mistakes and whatnot, because there are plenty.
Do you want me to tell you a secret? Well, not. It's people used to assume that this Portuguese fellow on the right smurfed a lot when he came back into Co2, because 2015 he won like a world championship and he had 400 hours on his account. Do you know they were legit hours? He had not smurfed at that time, and he told me one thing. He told me it's all about quality, not quantity. He told me he scrimmed properly, scrimmed well, and he studied players, studied replays, and he learnt the game. He learnt what was OP or not. And it was all about quality, not quantity. So you're exactly right in that sense. And I'm not, DevM's, we don't need to give him much more hype than he needs. He's a famously aggressive player. Playing as Ostrupen, though, I have to say, they're not the most aggressive to start off with, are they, Borrow Badger?
Well, they're probably not meant to be, but they can be just because they're just so strong in the current meta. They trade so well versus, even against rifles that are so much more expensive. They just trade very, very well against them.
The way I see them, though, it's not so much that you're winning these engagements, it's that you've got more men on the field and you're capping more of the map whilst the engagements are going on, It's almost like you're a boa constrictor. And it's not necessarily the initial coils that are slinking around your opponent. It's the fifth and sixth coil, whilst your opponent's still just about getting onto the battlefield.
It's both too, I think you've got that advantage, but then also once the engagements do start taking place, it's not going to get rolled over.
Fair enough. WC51, of course, with its... we're going to be seeing the same meta throughout this tournament for a lot of the players. We did actually see, not on the mainstream, a lot of interesting tactics and strategies yesterday. A lot of OKW play. A triple Puma build took Alpern out of the tournament, for example. But on the mainstream, it is seemingly that we're just seeing the USF versus Ostrupen dynamics. But let's concentrate more so on the tactics utilized. DevM right now is protecting his MG like with bodyguard-like fashion with the Ostrupen and the Pioneers, keeping the WC51 at bay.
Yeah, the MG's surprisingly effective against the WC51. I think you can use it if you can set it up, get it in the face in the right direction. It can definitely hold it back.
DevM does have a Battle Phase 1 upgraded. Pioneers are retreating back to base, and what this will give him, of course, is light mechanized and, importantly, the Panzerfaust.
Yeah, again, I think that this brief window that Isildur had without the Faust, I don't think he's really got too much done with the WC51, unfortunately.
Our men are now fully equipped with entrenching tools.
Trenching tools on the way for DevM, choosing Ostrupen Doctrine, of course, and of course mechanized for Isildur. Another fact about these two guys is they were scrim partners for this tournament and the upcoming World Championships next month. DevM and Isildur have been tearing it up against one another, so they know each other like the back of their hands. If there's anybody that's going to take each other to the limits today in the quarterfinals, it will be these two players.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Yeah, I think it's definitely probably the most exciting matchup out of the quarterfinal for me anyway. See Isildur taking the south now, so not going to be too much double fuel for
And there will be people on YouTube and on Twitch chat that will criticize these two players in particular using meta, but the players like yourselves, Borrow Badger, that top 50 1v1 auto match, you want to see Isildur DevM because you recognize the skill, the brutal you know, skill, and the matchup is very even on paper. So let's wait and see how it works out. Cavalry riflemen are waiting in ambush right now. They haven't been spotted quite yet.
I think it's important to note too, when you're playing for what is, at the end of the day, quite a significant amount of money to win this tournament, you know, there's no real reason not to go meta. And people may criticize, but the stakes are quite high too, so.
They are. You know, it's not small change we're playing for here. Just because Sega are bankrolling the World Championships for 20k or whatever it is, doesn't mean that the 2.5k of community hard-earned cash during coronavirus is any less prestigious, and that's how I see it. You know, this is a community tournament. We're keeping things fresh as well, constantly evolving how we want to play and testing things out, and it's exciting. Master League Tournament 3, of course, 250 VPs. The maps were chosen randomly. The players didn't know the maps up until 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it definitely makes it harder to practice too with the random map. You don't know, you can't really effectively practice on 9 maps and the build up to a tournament. Because generally it's only a smaller pool.
Yeah, of course, and at least we don't have maps like Lost Glider or stuff like Novograd as the prize.
Yeah, there are some dreadful maps in the 1v1 pool, but
I actually like Rechnia Prapravia. That's the one my guilty secret. Rifleman flanking the MG. 2-2 comes to mitigate. We're very close to Veterancy 1 on this Rifleman squad, though. We've got 2 other squads coming in from Isildur. MG's firmly pushed away. DevM's reeling right now. Let's check out the southern engagement where Ostroupen versus rear echelons down here. All boiled over very quickly there.
yeah, there's engagements in literally the north and middle and the south. It's hard to keep track of when you're casting it, let alone playing it.
And that's what we're going to see. Both players are going to try and stretch run on the Thompsons. Pop on the cavalry riflemen, but they have to become Thompson's Gazelles very quickly indeed because they're being hunted down by the 222.
I see some of these squads and base are just going to have to wait here now for Isildur until the ambulance comes out because they're just too low, especially the lieutenant. You just can't send that squad out.
Stewart's out now though, so he could be just a little bit aggressive, especially with the vehicles. Pioneers capping up north, Panzer Grenadiers also. Stewart's about to rear its head. 222 spots it, however, and Ostroupen get into position with the Panzerfaust ready.
I don't think we've seen any tellers either, unless I've missed one.
No, I haven't seen them either. With the amount of munitions on DevM, 175.
Yeah, he maybe could have got one down, especially just around there when Isildur was forced off, but
genuinely
prioritising the VP.
Yeah, it's possible. DevM's notorious for forgetting to do some of the more basic defensive measures, like putting sandbags down everywhere. He prioritizes micro of his units and also capping the map as much as possible. And he considers these things to be follies. He doesn't want to be sitting and microing his sandbags. He wants to be constantly microing all of his units and their actual position on the map, if that makes any sense.
No, it certainly doesn't do him any harm if you look at his past performances. So.
It didn't seem to work in 2 versus 2 as much when you do have more time to concentrate on the more small details of your side of the map, etc. The reason I know about this fact is basically Helping Hands was saying, "Why aren't you building tank traps?" That kind of thing. But in Helping Hands' voice, I can't do a Helping Hands impression, unfortunately.
We are losing a sector.
Forced away there. Pack 40 finds the Stuart, however. Riflemen under heavy fire. There are engagements in the north. Lieutenant has the bazooka. We have elsewhere a cavalry rifleman looking for a flank on the MG, but the MG's repositioning. It is now going to spot the Predator.
It's a really good map control here for Isildur too. He's looking at double fuel, potentially the triple cap, but the MG is going to put a stop to that.
Good play by him, I tell you, because he was, suffering a little bit under DevM's map control. Let's just go ×2 speed a little bit and have a look at one graph in particular. I want to look at points held for both players, and you can see how it's undulated wildly. DevM was briefly ahead, but Isildur's rocked straight back, and if we quickly go to overview, we can see the KD is favourable for Isildur.
Yeah, I think that's to be expected against the Ostroupen too, though. Regardless of how to go on the KD, you like to think those grenades there for Isildur, it's interesting.
Yes, there we go. DevM was trying to use nades a lot yesterday, but it's him that's been grenaded today. Pack 40's in a bit of a spot of bother.
I think Dev M in general's in a bit of a spot of bother here. Kind of coming
Stewart's
down like a
going
house of cards
south.
for him.
Yeah, 222's trying to protect the pack there, Borrow. And it's decrewed. Is he going to go for a cheeky steal? Never. No, he's not. Of course he isn't. He's going to go for maybe a satchel, but he's under a lot of pressure from the Ostrupen.
The sector has been cut off. Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
Dominating map control now for Isildur. This is looking bleak for Dev M.
Showing you how the Ostrupen build can be exploited if you play well with the superior firepower of the Americans. Yes, you will be pushed back initially, but you can rock your opponent back with a huge counterpunch after that 6-minute mark.
Yeah, I think that this is why we're seeing so much USF, is because Soviets just cannot deal with the Ostrupen in the early game, and they don't really have the ability to fight back the way USF do.
Let's keep an eye on the kills of Ovia. He's got 7 on the 222. We're currently repairing the WC51. I did want to check that out. I think it was in double-digit figures. Look at the aggression from Isildur, Borrow. He's capping the munitions as we speak. It's rarely you see that. Yes, we see a cut-off taken, but not the actual munitions neutralised too.
Yeah, he's definitely trying to keep up the advantage that he's got. Double P grens now, though, is going to be an issue for him.
It certainly is for now. It's amazing to me that a player like Devem, who was so proficient with sniper usage back in the day, would never, in this meta, he's never going to even consider back-teching for the infantry company, you know?
No, I don't think it will be wise here, though, either. I think he needs to... If he can get it tanked out...
Bundle nade not dodged! Nades in unison! Isildur gets the worst of it. Sorry, Borrow, I missed your point there, mate. What did you say?
No, basically, I think Dev M needs to focus all the manpower he has on getting the tank out in the next, in a relevant timing. I think that's his only real chance.
Well, Battle Phase 2 is on its way, and for a nominal cost he can get the support armor company up.
He's struggling for manpower, though. Quite badly.
Double Panzer Grenadiers are going to do that for you. They're, double-edged sword. Dodgy positioning for the MG here. This could get decrewed, I tell you. Missed by the Pack 40. Ostrupen weren't quick enough.
It's an interesting position for the S-mines that Dev M's put down, covering the cutoff.
Yes. Well, that should catch him off guard, if you don't get a chance to see the flags before your units, jump from behind that fence. So that's an interesting idea from Devon. Let's see if he actually... No, he's coming the other way.
Nice. No, he's hitting them with the...
He's lost the WC51, has he? 6 kills on
very
that.
close.
Just a little bit small on fire. The Pioneers can't do it. Yes, they can! The hell? Thought the drop-off from them would never get that. They've got a vehicle kill. They have, yeah. The Pioneers got it from that range. Must have had the smallest amount of health possible. Nice nade on retreat there.
It's another squad down. Is that a rifleman down?
I must have missed it.
It was around where the pack was.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah, the P-grens have picked up the bar too. The ones on the munition cutoff.
Nice. Must have been on camera, but of course we were too busy, talking about MP40 sniping vehicles, most likely. Stewart with its 7 kills. Gonna meet Pack 40 fire. It's great having the 222 out, of course. Just check out this vision, you new players, and just see what the 222 gives you. Everything on the screen is visible all the way up to here. It's a true map app unit.
We have only 50 points remaining.
What? The victory points! I forgot to even think about them, Borrow. He's down to 50.
That happened very quickly, didn't it? There were 2 nice wipes that them got, but I just don't know if he has enough time. I don't think he does, really, to get back into the game.
No. And he's capping fuel right now. Well, of course he's taking the MG to the victory point. Fair enough. But look at this from Isildur. He's just dominating in the centre. He has an answer to all of Devem's questions there.
Let them defeat us.
Yeah, he knows he's close.
Ah, in the north we have an engagement. Ostrupen are getting major artillery. They're holding firm. And the 222 is going to join the fray. It eats a shell from the Major's cannons. Okay, Devem stabilised. He's getting the Southern VP, don't forget. He's now got 11 victory points. He cannot afford one more error. Tense times.
Yeah, he's right there for a P4 too. But I just don't know if he's going to get it out in time.
Yeah, he's got it building now. Ostrupen have to battle against cavalry rifleman in the centre now. He has to react. He has to try and cap it, but there's a 50 cal waiting. He's trying to flank with the Panzer Grenadiers. 50 cal just outside the cone of fire, perhaps. Meanwhile, in the south, Stuart versus Vanilla Panzer Grenadiers. He's not using incendiary rounds quite yet either. This looks like it's Isildur's game to lose now.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Once this North VP is capped.
There it is, and we tick down once more.
Yeah, he just needs to run that rifle squad into the middle if he tries to cap, and that's going to be it.
And he's
And the
got them
south
standing
is
there.
looking bleak too.
And Devem throws in the towel,
There
it
you go.
being mathematically impossible to win. He's forced to tap out. Well played by Isildur, 1-0 with 142 victory points remaining.
The hand of fate decides where the fight will be. With half the time we see twice intensity. It's chaos. Krieg. It's chaos. Krieg.
There we go, as Borrow Badger takes a comfort break. I'm actually going to write the results down today. I rarely remember to do this. I've got a notepad file. Isildur wins game 1, 142 victory points remaining. I'm really thinking that this could go all the way and that we're going to need to remember the victory points. Yeah, the Chaos Krieg music is quite calming. But I think it suits the mood, you know. It's all this war's going on and then it's kind of eerie, isn't it? The Sturmtiger causes all of the sound to be removed and all you can hear is the music. Ed, I was a bit rude to Ed because I messaged him knowing he doesn't read Discord messages. I tagged him yesterday. I probably should have confirmed with him that it is an hour earlier today. But Ed was doing some excellent casting last night. I was watching him do a 4v4. Yeah, it's great. I'm sure Ed's fine with it, to be honest. But yeah, let's have a little look at the old staterinios of that one. 64-50 on the kills for Isildur. Devem, of course, playing with Ostrupen. Never really got back ahead. Points held's the big graph for me. Devem had a huge advantage here, and then Isildur just had great micro to get straight back into it. So it was a good one for certain. Must remember to do that today. I forgot last time. Right, got that set up. And what was I doing next? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a quick break myself. I'm gonna grab a coffee. Just want to see if.
Apologies.
Right, that's fine. That's fine. Probably should have. Right, it's starting now, so we're gonna have to jump in. I'm afraid. Well, I'm not afraid. I'm quite happy to do that, but let's do it then. Try and send the message out. Are you with me, bro? Yes, you are. Let's watch the game before we miss it. I just got to point this out, everybody. Devem has his own... oh, you can't see it on that screen. Hang on a sec. He's got his own Literally only DevM has this in the world. It's DevM's Warpaint Winners faceplate. Pretty cool, I suppose. But yeah, let's just get straight into this one. We've heard the jingle jangle noises of Chaos Krieg quite enough. The score is, of course, going to be DevM's 1-up.
No, Isildur 1-up.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Thank you for actually telling me that. I have a lot to think about. Let's get in with game 2. As you heard it there from Bora Badger, DevM is 1-0 down to the mighty Isildur. What a surprise, he's going for defensive doctrine, which, yes, includes Ostrupen. And we have, what a surprise, it is DevM going with Mechanized Company. Company of Heroes is now just these two commanders played for Infinity.
Yeah, it's interesting though that Mechanized seem to be the counter to Ostrupen for USF. I would have always thought with a super fast light vehicle would sort of counter the WC-51, but I suppose these players are confident that they can keep it alive and get the value from it.
But also, isn't it an excellent way to actually decide who's the better player? Because we saw that Isildur was able to survive DevM's early onslaughts and then manhandle him with superior micro after the 6-minute mark. Yes, you do have a power spike with the Stuart being out. I'm not denying that. But he took excellent advantage of everything in front of him, and he didn't, to be honest, put a foot wrong after that at all.
No, he didn't make a mistake till the very end. We lost the Jeep and the rifle, but it was pretty much inconsequential at that point. It's interesting DevM going for double rear echelon start. It's not something you see every day.
No, he was doing this a lot yesterday. It was quite profitable. It's good for scouting, of course, and it's good for just trying to keep up with the Ostrupen early overwhelming game.
Yeah, I suppose if you get them in close, they can fight them quite effectively. So.
G42 sets up in the south, but it's easily dodged by the rifleman, forced away by DevM in the north. Double Ostrupen from Isildur, bullying this poor rear echelon squad. And it's been nice work by the second rear echelon, by the way, Borrow. He's gone around the side, he's decapped the cut-off, so he never had any fuel coming into Isildur.
Yeah, definitely very mobile, aggressive stuff at the start. Trying to just deny that fast fuel for the Ostrupen. It's one of the most important things you can do to counter them. Try and deny them as much as you can.
C51 on its way. Popularised, I want to say, by Twisted Tootsie. I think he did it the best or the most in the past couple of years. This particular commander, and
Heavy truck waiting for deployment.
using it all the time.
Yeah, what's the other hat? The bigger half truck is the one he pulled out quite regularly. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just the M3, isn't it? And the step-on ability going literally like lightning speed.
Formula 1 car. Even the WC-51 with step on it, the speed is just incredible. How fast it can go.
Interestingly, yesterday DevM was jumping out of the WC5. Oh no, it was Von Ivan, sorry, I saw do it. He jumped out in the early game to use the vehicle crew and then jumped back in again. Well, right in front of the other squad, and the other squad went to try and take it. It was so cheeky. Ostrupen a little bit low here. He doesn't have Faust quite yet, but he's not to know. I suppose the timing, they probably have the timing nailed down now, to be honest.
I would say so, yeah. I'd say be well aware of when he's going to get that up.
Also, we have Pioneers building sandbags. He's found the time to do that, unlike his Portuguese rival. 3 Ostrupen into Panzer Grenadier for Isildur. DevM. So obviously got a little bit lower manpower, having on the WC-51 and the second rear echelon, so he's not got the 3 riflemen. Probably waiting for cav rifles as well, I imagine.
Yeah, I'd say he's very conscious, trying to get that Stuart out as quick as he possibly can too. Doesn't want to overcommit in the units and bleed too hard and have it delayed.
So far, Isildur's MG play has been inferior to DevM's, I would say. I think DevM's got more flanks off, and the MG has yet to get a single skill, or even, I've not seen it suppress anything quite yet.
Yeah, it's been quite on Isildur, like, to be honest. He's normally very switched on with his machine gun positioning, but it's definitely been caught out a few times so far.
Devam's capping the victory point as well. He's gotten the cut-off. He's had steady fuel income for a while now. Of course, Lieutenant is out, meaning that we will be looking to get a mechanized company very soon. Cav rifles now as well. So the cavalry are coming. And the cavalcade is starting to amass. Devam is looking to strike back with furious vengeance and anger.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
P-Grand's in a nice position there in the middle though. Very, very difficult units to force away.
Yeah,
Cover like that.
they're stuck in there. Like a badger in its set.
Heads up. The crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being
So
captured.
sausage dogs.
Dino's lots
Dachshunds.
of bugs, yeah.
In Germany, they're called badger dogs, and they're originally bred for like badger killing, like to get badgers out of sets and stuff.
Because they're so long and nimble. Get in
Yeah,
there.
like a huge ferret. And I'm not trying to offend you. I know you've got a badger in your name here, but yeah, I just thought they did have a purpose one day. They weren't just like a lapdog that was extra long with spinal issues. Dackle, stepsister says. There you go.
So every day's a school day.
Yeah, my girlfriend tells me offset I have to ask people if they want a fact before I give them a fact. Because I do it for my own ego. It's so clear, you know. I never give it because somebody asks for it. So
In
I
this
always say...
position, you know, you've got free reign. Nobody can tell you off.
Correct, exactly. 222 strikes against the WC51, which had a damaged engine. And that's a good win for Isildur.
I think he needed that too. He was starting to it looked like he was starting to slip behind a bit. You can see it in the map control. My too.
Rear echelons now suffering under penalty of scout car. This thing is a dastardly devil on the battlefield. It's so nimble, and it poses a threat to everything before 7 minutes when the Stuart hits. It has
Yeah, the 222 is really, it's a really strong unit for its price and its timing.
It wasn't always this way, you know. Well, it was when the game first came out. In fact, it was OP, but I'm very happy with how the balance team were able to find a place for the 222 in the last 3 years. It really does have a place now. It's one of those units that just is balanced, and balanced very well indeed.
Yeah, it used to be, it was terrible for a long time too, and it was almost borderline unusable, but it's definitely in a good spot at the minute, I would say.
Yeah, it's one of those units that you just never touch ever again now. That's it.
No.
And fortunately, the Wehrmacht is like that in every way except Grenadiers. But the balance team aren't allowed to balance Grenadiers. It's like if the Grenadiers were better balanced, the Wehrmacht would be a perfect faction, you know. Maybe the Osttroopen obviously make them a little bit...
The Austrian need something done to them, in my opinion, anyway.
I
I
tried to force through like 40 manpower more for the buggers, but nobody was having it.
It's just, yeah, because once the reinforced cost is almost negligible for them, so you just don't bleed, really.
No. Meanwhile, we got the Lieutenant out very low on health, forced away. Look at the amount that Devam is having to work to try and get rid of these two squads. This one could go down if he's focus fired by everything. Though he gets away just in the nick of time. 222 watching on. We do have an engagement in the south. We'll keep an eye on that. Cav Rifleman suppressed. Back in the north. Everything looks likely to survive. But Isildur was able to keep fuel for a while there.
Yeah, he held on a lot longer than I actually thought he would, with just two, practically just two squads against nearly Devam's entire army.
Oh, Cav Rifleman have got really low. Maybe
Very
those
close.
MP40 snipers will be out again.
I think they've had all their RNG this series.
Imagine how annoyed you'd be to see an MP40 max range snipe against one of your vehicles or units.
It's true. Twice then.
Capture point is
I'm sure you'd be very polite about it on stream, Borrow Badger.
As always, yeah, absolutely. Would never complain about anything about this game.
Look at this ambulance. It has a... That is obnoxious. It's a sharp camouflage ambulance. I never actually looked at this on stream before. That is pimp my health-related support vehicle. And here comes the 222 to try and kill said ambulance. Couldn't try and get it.
He just wanted to see the skin as well.
Yeah, seemingly.
We've dropped to 200 points.
Look at this like difference in map control now. It's completely flipped on its head.
Let's have a little look on one of my favourite graphs, the points held graph, as you can see, flipped on its head there. Also check out aecohmatt, and you can see that former sea of blue has been swallowed up in red.
Armor here.
It's a mental change though. How quickly, that's the thing with players at this level. How quickly they can, once they get the initiative, they can completely, you can cap the whole map, and it seems like no time at all.
Now here comes the drain on DevM. Isildur putting down the pain. He's had time to set himself as well. He's got, of course, sandbags in the centre still. He's pack 40 in position. This is a big push for DevM, because this is when Isildur rocked DevM, if you remember, Borrow. This is when he managed to wrestle control away from DevM. Around this mark, maybe a little tiny bit earlier. DevM's a little bit late to the party. He runs into an MG, and that is unfortunate, because that was one of the squads he was going to rely upon for the push.
Yeah, the MG was very well placed there, just covering the flank. And he has all the squads in the pack in the middle, so he knew that was really the only other option, was through that little gap. He had the MG waiting.
Yeah, it was good positioning. DevM's now going to have to wait for this squad to re-emerge, I imagine. Oh, there's been a Telemine swept. Metal Battle, who's one of our, I believe he's a sergeant backer. He spotted that. So well played by DevM there, at least. And he's gotten grenades now. He's been waiting. I did check that out on the UI. Now he has them. We've had smoke go in as well from the rear echelons, which obviously tells him there's nades.
Yep. We've
got the cavalry riflemen pushing in from the north. The 222 eats a bazooka round. Ostrupen push in with the MG hot in pursuit.
This is the push then, basically. Similar position from last game too.
Still got triple-digit figures on the victory points as well. However, nice pack shot there. Ostrupen aren't in position to damage the engine.
It's a really good position from Isildur though, bringing the pack, away from the danger zone and back round in, which is where DevM made the mistake last game, where his pack got decrewed, whereas Isildur was quicker to bring it back down in the irrelevant position to force the steward off.
Look at this capping, everybody. This is what we're talking about with top-level players. They just spread out and get the capping orders like just way more efficiently in the heat of battle than other players seem to do it. And it's such a small difference, Borrow. I'm talking about like maybe 1 or 2 seconds quicker. But over the course of a battle, that adds up very quickly. And when you're up against these guys in the top 10 worldwide, you just don't get map control against them. They won't let you have it.
No, it's very, very difficult. That top 10, or top 20 or so players are just a class above. Really, that's what you see in the quarterfinal is top 8 seeds, but that's not an accident. Those just are the best 8 players at the minute.
Yeah, that's Master League. It's gaining confidence with the stat nerds out there. Top 8 seeds are in the quarterfinals today. Well, there's one upset in the first bracket. It's Alpern, who was like a top 16 seed, lost to Sormappel, but that's expected around that level, to be honest. You do find upsets in the 10 to 20s. All top 8 are through.
Yeah. I do think Sormappel's a good player, and I don't think Alpern should be too disappointed if they lost him.
Oh, what a satchel on the 222 there! It's floating in front of him. There it is! That was a stroke of bad luck for Isildur.
It's a really nice pickup for DevM though.
Yeah, definitely. Just you could tell it was one of those ones where he was on the cusp of being out of the activation range. But DevM did that yesterday as well. He's very good at finding that said range and getting the shots away.
Yeah, this could be a mistake here from Isildur's pack. He's realising now he's going back the other way.
Grenade on the Pioneers. Nearly a wipe there. Can he polish them off? One connection. There it is. And a dropped flamethrower. DevM's getting wins all over the place. Grenade over the fence in tandem. They're playing advanced volleyball here. Oh, good setup from the MG from Isildur, keeping the flamethrower within his tolerance. But there's the Panzer Grenadiers dropping health very quickly. Can DevM get around the apex and finish the job?
Make it away. Such hard units to kill though, the Vagrants. The received accuracy, they're just very, very difficult to kill.
Grenade on the MG, but the Panzer IV should save the day. Not before the flamethrower does go into Portuguese hands, however.
Now have access to Pack 43 anti-tank guns.
Some rifle company rear echelons now.
Enemy enemy forces are securing
As the
our
Panzer
territory.
IV pursues, he knows he's uncountered right now, and he smells blood.
It's interesting he's prioritising the Stuart though, and now he's going for the squads now. 'Cause I think he maybe could have got at least one of them squads if he went for them right from the start.
Oh, the satchel threatens yet again. Just enough to keep him at bay, and then runs back to base to get fully healed. Devon, by the way, whilst this was going on, is capping north, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Under duress, they're able to find additional micromanagement utility and keep capping the map.
Yeah, it's just constant awareness. They don't forget. You know, it's easy at lower levels. You kind of forget to cap the map. You're so engrossed in one engagement, whereas it just doesn't happen at this level. They're constantly. So there's Isildur now going the other way. Constantly aware of.
It's one of the reasons that kind of aggressive tunnel vision style guys don't tend to win tournaments. It's more the peaceful lateral thinkers that can handle chaos that tend to win tournaments.
Yeah, Smine's down in the middle VP could be an issue, but Sweeper's forced off my side.
Panzer IV trying to find an angle on the Stuart. Can't quite do it. Now it's Isildur's time to cap the north. So Devem goes south with his 3 squads. And he's staying in this. He's still got triple digit victory points. 4 now. But
He's
for
doing
how
really
long?
well to keep the Stuart relevant, even with the P4 in the field. So there he's bringing the Snaring squad down in front of the P4, and then keeping the Stuart, you know, operating in the middle.
It's one of the reasons that maps with a lot of sight blockers are excellent for Stuarts and for T70s, because they can stay viable into the late game because they're constantly ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving and making themselves useful basically. But here we go, Isildur set up in the north and centre. Devem is down to double digits now. Borrow, how's he going to break out of this?
He needs to get a tank out and make a big aggressive play, but by the time he does that, so he's going to have another vehicle, you know, where he goes for another P4, which I assume he will, but Devem's going for the bazookas to try and force it back, which will delay the Sherman a bit.
It will a little bit. He does indeed have the major out there. He's waiting for 110 fuel. He's got 79 victory points remaining. Pintle mounts on the Panzer IV, causing casualties. And the main cannon also.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
There's a couple of big hits from it there. Devem's going to lose the south now too.
The enemy is down to 75 points. The enemy is taking our territory.
Stuart's working overtime. 6 kills.
Major's going to go down.
Is he?
Yeah.
There he is. Oh. And he dodged. One-man squad there.
The enemy is attempting
Just about
to
surviving.
steal our sector.
You see the bit of desperation now from Devon, though he knows he needs to get some semblance map control going and quickly.
He's got one more push left in him. He's got. Let's check his health. His squads. Cavalry rifleman going south right now with the Stuart. They need to get rid of this MG before it becomes a triple cap, and he's not left with anything else. He's staying in it here with grenades and riflemen under medium tank fire, just keeping the victory point situations vaguely under control. But pack 40 and suppression from the MG, this could be game.
Shots getting blocked though by the barrels there.
Oh, no, they're not, just as you said it. Could be the end of the Stuart now. Oh, missed again. One more shot connects and he's out of there. That was so close.
Ready for battle.
P4's had enough, he's coming over to put an end to it.
He is. He's seen enough. He's had enough. And the Stuarts, no more. Battle for south, and this is just for Devem to slow the bleed. This will not get him back into the game. He needs to cap north or mid in unison. Otherwise, this is all done for. And here comes Schwer Gustav from a railway near you.
Enemy has 25 points remaining.
The RNG cannon being brought out.
First
this is
shots
the
on
sector
target.
artillery, isn't it?
Oh dear. Oh, sector artillery, my bad.
Yeah, this was the...
I'm so used to the other Ostrican ability, my bad. And Devem's dropped from the game before the Sherman can feel the burn. So my really cool talk about Schwer Gustav was completely inaccurate. Sector artillery goes down, and Devem down also. Isildur 2-0 up.
And the fate decides fight will be. With half the time we see, twice intensity. It's chaos. Krieg. It's chaos. Krieg.
The next map they will be on today, if I remember correctly, is it not Crossroads Winter? I think it was. I think we got the quote-unquote meme map, as the players would call it. I think it's worthy of being in there, but yeah, it is indeed. Crossroads Winter is the next map. Interesting.
Probably my least favorite out of the entire. But again, it's just because it's probably the only winter map. That's why I don't like it. But.
Yeah, well, it is. I think it would be the least popular out of the 9 maps we have, but it's still a good map. It's pretty decent. Now it's been fixed, by the way, guys. It's not the same one in auto match with the cutoffs next to the hedgerows. They're moved outside the hedgerows now, so it's kind of a bit more equal in that respect.
Yeah, it is better. Like yesterday was the first time I actually played on it since the changes, and it is noticeably the play is a lot better. To be fair to it.
Let's do some shout outs today, and I just want to shout out the referees, of course, that make all of this work behind the scenes. Very easy to forget that this literally is not possible with the likes of Kurihi, Ficton, Moped, Ipkai Fung, Olden Haller, Repo Rogue, and Stern Panther. All of you very valued, and literally is impossible without you. And of course, the many, many, many benefactors. There's 101 of you, including you, Bora Badger.
Indeed, yeah.
You're literally funding this whole activity, and you're making a community esports scene happen, and that's way better than a proper esports scene, because we don't have to do, we don't have to jump just because corporate people say so. We can do whatever we want, basically, which is always good.
No, it's been like a breath of fresh air though the last few tournaments. It's been a lot of hard work from you too, and I think everybody does appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I can't keep it up forever though. Next year we will be going towards the second phase of Master League, which is tournaments to tender, where people within the group, they come up with their ideas and then we vote on whose idea we like most.
And then they organise the tournament themselves rather than yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Angry Dutchman says, imagine getting paid for organising and casting. I wouldn't want to. I've been paid for organising and casting, and I will have opportunities in the future for both, but I promise you I prefer this. This is how it should be. This is a hobby. This is fun to me. I get paid to be a management accountant for a huge corporation. I don't, that's my job. I don't want my job to be my fun life. That sounds awful, mate. Imagine having to worry about what you say when you're casting. Like you have a list of things like banned terms or something, things like that. It's like, it wouldn't be fun, would it? Wouldn't be fun.
No, it's the same with streaming. I think the people that stream full time, that must be very, very difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I like streaming just the same as you, but it's nice to jump in and out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to, if you're just not feeling it, you can just stop, rather than if you have to do it for 8 hours, or you're not going to be able to keep your house or something. That must be very stressful.
But it's so true, When people are saying, imagine getting paid, yuck. It's not about that. It's about the obligation of being paid. As soon as you're paid, you're professional. And at that point becomes certain obligations. I couldn't speak to the players like I speak to the players, like a normal human being, if I was actually being paid. I'd have to I'd feel like everybody deserves something from me other than what we already do as referees and organisers and stuff, which just do a pretty damn good job, don't get me wrong, but we'd have to act in a certain way at all times. It'd be awful. I don't earn much through Twitch, Ace Hero. Have you ever seen how much you get through Twitch? I think I get 60 quid every 3 months. Something like that. It's terrible. YouTube's gotten a little bit better, but that's only because I've gotten all the YouTube videos over the last 5 years, and they do add up a little bit. But it's not about the money, guys. We are here for the fun of company heroes and playing it competitively. A lot of players like Bora Badger here are training really hard to play in the tournaments we've got next year coming. We've got some really good ideas next. I know you don't like the idea of winter maps, Bora Badger, but it won't just be that ML4. We've got a few ideas already. One idea that I heard yesterday for voting. How do you like the idea of this? You can only, within a series, you can only play the same faction once unless it's a deciding ace game. Like a best of 5, you have to play OKW and Wehrmacht, and like USF and Soviets.
I think that would be interesting if the meta remains as stale as it has. If the USF and Austria still dominate the meta, I think something like that would be good, just to try and force people to freshen up a bit.
Yeah, that's one idea. That was Kurahi's idea yesterday. We could put that forward. Obviously, commander vetoes, we haven't actually done it for the Master League yet. That's obviously where the players enter a series and they say, you can't play as this against me. That's pretty tried and tested and really easy to do as well. So yeah, we've got multiple ideas coming for Master League Tournament 4. I can confirm it will be winter themed, however. So get your GPUs working overtime for those white pixels floating across your screen, as Nagano puts it.
I do think personally, for a tournament, would be nice to see something without seeding, but that's probably coming from a being bad at the game standpoint, where it'd be nice to not get wrecked by Asia Mint or something.
Wait, so
every time
you want
tournament.
you want a tournament where we don't follow the traditional tenets of what makes a good tournament?
I think everything's a one-off, so it'd be nice to see. I think I said this to you before, like an FA Cup style. You could have a whole big draw event.
I would love that.
Names out of a hat. It would be good fun.
I'd like it within pots, though. I'm sorry, you can't just have it random. Like
I see the issue, because you could have Loveness v Isildur round 1 or something like that, and then it would be a bit of an anticlimax. But is it kind of the risk you take?
Yeah, it is. I'm getting you into party, by the way, and the game has started, so we don't have. I'm just going to quickly grab a drink as well. But yeah, I agree. The best way to do it, Borrowbridge, is a compromise. Obviously, the Master League's USP is the fact that it's a ranking system, so I wouldn't want to have a tournament where we forsake it. Yeah. But we can throw a spanner in the works, and I really want to do, basically, like, I want Master League to build up towards a World Cup next year. Relic and Sega have, like, their thing is the World Championships. Well, we'll do a World Cup, and within that, you can have an FA Cup-style draw, but from pots. I would like it Champions League. We've named 3 different football tournaments here really quickly. But the Champions League style system, which I think is a little bit better, where you have everybody in A pot, B pot, C pot, D pot, and then each group is made of an A, B, a C, and a D. So you will throw things into the mix. But unfortunately, if you are in a D pot, you are going to have a group of death, and there is no avoiding the death that awaits you unless you train really, really hard and get really, really good and keep it from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tournament that wasn't unlike that, though. Last year, the year before, it was the groups of 3.
World Championships, yeah, that didn't take the concept far enough. Where we failed there is, I think, like the groups just fed into the group below. It wasn't random after. It would have been way more exciting if it was random after.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm just going to quickly go grab a drink. I'll be straight back with you. We've got the game loaded. We're not going to miss it, but I do need a quick coffee. Hang on a sec. I'll be as quick as possible. I'll leave. Do you want to stay on stream, Borrow?
I don't mind. I don't think you can probably. The rest of the people might have a different. Alright, so he's basically shafted me with the time it makes to make a cup of coffee by myself. It is nice to see a different map, though, as much as this map is. In a way, he seems to like it, but you can see, I mean, obviously, I'm in the map at the minute, and the cutoffs are far better. They're far less oppressive than they were in the auto match version. It's still not great in my opinion, but it's fair. I think for certain builds and whatnot were really oppressive. I think it's not too bad now. But as a spoiler, you could probably guess what the factions are. But hopefully, it'd be nice to see somebody go for something different, just something different. Jadek's asked what I think with Dev M's chances. I'm not sure. I do think Isildur is very, 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 very good, and I think with Dev M not being as in practice as he once was, I think Isildur's kind of a class above him at the minute. But it'd be nice to see him make a bit of a game out of it. Maybe get at least one game back. Who do you think is the most OP player? Definitely Isildur. I think there's the UK bias coming out there a wee bit, but I think he's just so much better than most other people. I think, like you saw, he kind of swept everybody aside in the last tournament. It was only Kembo that stopped him. So I do think that'll be the final again this time round. Do I hate Englishmen? No, I don't hate Englishmen. I'm technically half English, so I kind of can't.
And
Okay, amazing.
hope
Yeah.
I know, right? So I'm like, is this series gonna last longer than that it takes for me to drink this coffee? Anyway, guys, we've got nothing else to wait for but Game 3, which is coming to your screens very, very quickly indeed.
And the fate decides where the fight will be. With half the
hard to get
time
past
we
into this one.
see, twice intensity. It's chaos. Krieg. It's chaos.
Hello there and welcome to Game 3 of this best of 5. You see from the United Kingdom playing as United States yet again. It isn't indeed Isildur, 2-0 up as Mechanized Company.
Yeah, and in the north we have again Dev unsurprisingly going for Austrippen once again.
Well, it is the meta of the day, and it is a very meta flavor tournament, but with the difference here being tactical. They only have 250 victory points to work with, and the maps are chosen at random. And with that, random maps, we will just see the beauty that is Crossroads Winter. This is, of course, Crossroads, but not as you know it. Been a bit modified. Let's have a look at how it's been modified. From the auto match version, basically these cutoffs are still very close to the fuel, but they're far away enough from this hedgerow now that they're equally as exploitable and fightable from both sides, I guess. That's how it's meant to work, at least. And Borobatch, I noticed it the other day. There's actually a better resource advantage going east as South player. You get 1 less fuel, but you get like 20 more munitions. So I think it's a little bit of a folly, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I saw your the little Microsoft Paint diagram you did for it, and it's interesting. You wouldn't think by looking at it, but I suppose people are always going to be drawn towards the fuel point, and you can see both players now going straight for their own respective fuels. I think that's always going to be the way the map plays, regardless of what the resource layout is.
And here we go, Austruppen marching through the void into the abyss. They take the cut-off, neutralise it, and probably back up behind the hedgerow. Of course they do.
Yeah, it took 1 minute 45 seconds the first cut-off on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Isildur had gone for these standard territory points down here, he'd still have them right now, you know?
Yeah, he has one squad branching out. It's interesting they sent the rifle, to branch out into the south, but it's kind of redundant at the minute.
Yeah, rear echelons usually, of course, used as the lone capping unit on the peripheries of engagements. Pioneers push forward from Devem. 2-0 down in this series. He's going to go for the jugular. If I know Devem well, and I believe I do, when his back is up against the wall, he plays his best. You could be in for a little bit of Portuguese shock treatment here, as he's going to possibly just go straight for the jugular and try and sit on base exits. It's what he's done in the past, at least.
Yeah, you can see that was a very aggressive start from it, straight for the cut-off, not the NG part in the cut-off, but the Isildur sort of forced them to move now with, taking the other cut-off.
Austruppen and MG in the north. Riflemen are going to try and take the fuel, or at least neutralise it. They've got a lot of time before they do so, but there's another rifleman to help out also.
Yeah, flank the MG.
C51's out, of course, not before the point was neutralised down there.
Thought it was interesting there from Isildur. As soon as the MG started packing up, he immediately switched his focus fire back to the Austruppen to make sure he, won the engagement as quickly as he possibly could.
Isildur now getting fuel. Devem getting nothing but what the standard territory points give him, which is surprisingly a lot. I mean, he's got plus 19 plays, plus 26 income at the moment. It's not the end of the world, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's the same in all the white flash maps. He always adds in that extra, maybe 2 extra standard territory points. So.
That's right. 14 versus 12 total points for a white flash map usually.
Yeah. Which is interesting. It adds another, you know, you're not as desperate for your field point. But it does mean if you lose both field points, you can see now the Isildur plus 39 is an insane rate of income for this stage of the game.
Here we go on the east side. Rifleman getting forced away by the low health MG, but he's stuck in the engagement, and he was right to do so. WC51 rears its ugly head against the Ostroupen, looking to claim the cutoff back into DevM's hands.
It's a really rough start in terms of resource control for DevM, but if you look at the VPs, he's actually ahead by quite a few, so not a disaster just yet.
Quite yet, no, but let's see how quickly Isildur can get the Stuarts out. 2-2 parading, prowling.
So if he's soon to pop on the lieutenant though, so.
Right, we've got mechanised platoon command post upgraded in a second. We've just seen a cheeky hot target there from the WC51. They just gave it everything, didn't they, when they were balancing the WC51? Nobody's using it. What shall we give it this week?
That unit is insane. It's a monstrous unit to try and play against.
IMO thinks should only have maximum of 2 abilities. 1 veteran, 1 native. Anything else feels like a mod, you know, when they got like, there's total conversions for coming here as 1 and stuff. Eastern Front's mod with units with 20 abilities and stuff like that. Tie laces more quickly.
That was a good mod though. It was a lot of fun.
Some great ones. There's the Stuart halfway built. Gonna have to get his Faust blanket in to protect his 222 from now on, otherwise it's going to be pretty worthless. Panzer Grenadier is repositioning, but they just got shot at from the WC51, losing a model there, so they think they're behind heavy cover, but they're just not.
Not for the WC51, but they're kind of in a rough spot. Then so with the rifles of the 222 shooting at them, so.
He's constantly for victory points as DevM now. He's really microing out of his skin, and it's not necessarily what we can see on camera. What a kill there from long range! On the WC51, it was hidden by the garrison from our viewpoint, but it was taken out regardless. That just the who got the kill there? Was the Panzer Grenadiers with the Sturmgewehrs?
I wasn't sure. I thought it was going to be the Ostroupen squad coming in, but they don't have it.
No.
It seemed like it was out of range from the P-rounds, but...
It spontaneously combusted.
Who that sent was a teller in chat.
Oh, interesting. Okay, teller. Fair enough. Well spotted, guys. We didn't spot it, but I'm glad you did. Nice work from DevM. It's a shame for him it wasn't the Stuarts, which is now going to rain on his parade. Pack 40 is out though, and good time from DevM for a change, and he's of course got a really good strong victory point lead now with the Isildur dropping below 180.
Yeah, you can see he's changed his build order from last game, going for the pack instead of the second P ground, and I think that's wise. He realised that the second P ground didn't really get enough value, and the Stuart kind of ran him off the map.
In fairness to him as well, he's actually had better infantry engagements this game, so he doesn't necessarily feel the need for he's right not to build one for pack purposes. I completely get your point, but also he's been winning with what he's got. So it's not like he's desperately needing Sturmgewehrs on the field right now.
Yeah, his map control's been far better this game, for sure. Especially his VPs. VPs are actually looking, it's getting quite a lead built up.
Stuart repositions. Gets hit by the Pack 40 yet again. Not yet again for this game, but it's constantly been met by Pack 40s. That is the meta that we're seeing. Same players using same builds. It's all a test of skill and tactics on the battlefield. It's almost like chess, Borrow. They're given the same pieces at the start. There's no variation from it. And it's all about how they utilize them.
It definitely makes it, I mean, no one can have any complaints when, when you lose.
I thought we had a squad wipe there. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're okay.
You're saying it makes it interesting, right?
It makes it interesting in the same way that it makes it boring for some people, but I think when you're watching it from a a tactical standpoint, it makes it interesting that it is just the same. If you make a mistake, the other person's going to punish it, and you can't really have complaints saying, "Oh, this unit cost me the game, this unit was okay," because you're using the same ones in the other games. So
Damaged engine on the 222, and it's getting rocked by bazooka fire. However, the lieutenant himself is getting burnt to a crisp. Can he get the finishing blow? No, he can't. 2-2 survives, and the Stuart, meanwhile, has a damaged engine.
it's close call. I actually thought it might have went down there to one more bazooka. Hang on.
Dev is highly consolidated in the eastern quadrant right now, so Isildur's taking advantage of that, taking the cut off and branching out. Let's have a just check we're not going to miss anything. Let's have a quick look at the stats thus far, seeing that the KD is very equal, which means DevM has had some excellent engagements basically as Ostrupen. Army value, DevM's he's not doing too badly. Points held, you can see we're seeing an equalisation very recently.
Yeah, this is definitely the closest game so far.
Enemy is taking our
Just in
territory.
time as well, because we were going to get a whitewash at the rate we were going.
50 cal is in a good spot though in that building. And DevM's side, it's going to be tough to dislodge.
Certainly is. It's going to be a thorn in his side for certain. Victory point wise, however, we're having DevM's capping north right now. And you will notice that we're going to talk more about DevM rather than Isildur. Isildur deserves all of our respect, and he's one of the best players in the world right now, but DevM is 2-0 down, so immediately a lot of the stream and the casters will start to be a little bit more biased towards him. Because nobody wants to see a quick 3-0. We want to see action and huge Titanic battles.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we could be in store for one. This is definitely... This game's kind of on a knife edge. You can see even the army pop caps are almost dead even.
Ooh, did the 2-2 suffer an 18-8 there? No, it didn't. Pack 40 dispatches the Stuart yet again.
You can see why this has been on though. DevM's taking complete control on the left hand side.
Indeed, look at this Ostrupen squad. He's going for the cut-off also.
Our industry grows to support us.
Oh, the cavalry rifle. I'm going to put an end to that though. Let's have a look. No, they're going west side, so they popped from the wrong avenue in my opinion. Might have been better to try and stop the Ostrupen from doing their work, neutralising this point here.
I wonder if he didn't see them maybe until it was too late.
Possibly.
Grenades!
Grenades! Gets away. I mean, is Isildur thinking, fair enough, I don't mind DevM coming back into this game, or is he letting off the pressure slightly, getting complacent a little bit perhaps, or is DevM just having a faultless first 12 minutes here?
I would imagine it's more the latter. I think Isildur would love to wrap this up in 3 games. I think he'd be, especially with a player like DevM, you don't really want to give him, a way back into it. So I don't think he'll be taking the foot off the gas at all.
There's the risk-reward of using the smoke grenade, because of course it means you can't use your regular grenade. He could have killed the Ostrupen on retreat had he not done that.
It's interesting that, as far as you see it, are using so many grenades against each other. I would expect players, if I was playing a player with this ability, I would expect them to dodge every grenade I threw at them.
But I suppose when you get to this level, it's not about throwing a grenade in the primary engagements, it's the peripheral engagements. So you're pushing each other and pressurizing one another to make mistakes in that second and third engagement. Not the first one, it's the other 2 you have to worry about. There's the grenades now. He tosses it in an avenue he wasn't expecting, but he doesn't find anything from it. Oh, Ostrupen down in the east, and that's what I'm talking about. That was not the primary engagement. DevM loses a squad there.
This was a little bit of a slobby one. That was there for quite a while on low health.
Yeah, can't deny it. It's a 4-kill rifleman pushing up through the centre. Western side, cavalry rifleman versus the Sturmgewehr toting Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers looking low.
Yeah.
Very low. He sits on his shots now. Oh, but they miss. That is unfortunate.
No negative cover in that road. Is there? I think there is
No.
in the original crossroads.
Ooh, is this telemine being uncovered? I think so. Yeah, it was uncovered. Oh, and it detonates thanks to the Stuart. That was a good idea from the Portuguese maestro, but it did not work. Nade on retreat works though.
Very close.
What a game we're watching, Borrow. This is what we came for.
Yeah, this is exactly the sort of performance that I needed to pull out as well, but it's whether or not it's enough.
Yeah, whether it's enough, exactly. He survived the early onslaught. We're now 15 minutes in, and both players have healthy, relatively healthy victory points, meaning that we are on for a good 25 to 30 minute battle now.
Yeah, Isildur has quite a large infantry lead now, though. I think it's going to come down to whether Dev can get the double MGs working.
We'll get this Panzer IV blitzing around the battlefield. He needs the first few shots to be great ones.
He needs a wipe of some description, though. That is 5, fighting squads for Isildur, only 3 for Dev.
Furia and shot. Oh, we got a nade over here as the MG is taken down. Ostrupen are close by, however. Engagement in the west is Panzer Grenadiers versus the mine-sweeping rear echelons.
It's interesting the P grounds didn't try to force them off.
Well, they want to get the victory point, don't they? It's crazy, but that's the
I
time.
wonder if he didn't realise, but because he could have even pushed them back to the edge of the capping circle and done a bit more damage, but
true. That's a good point. Rear echelons weren't seen as even worthy of thinking about to that extent for DevM, apparently. Stuart's out, so is the Major. He's got enough fuel and... What is he thinking here? Enough fuel and manpower for a Sherman. The regular Sherman, he's not going for it.
must be going for Jackson at this point.
Possibly.
I guess he really acknowledges that he's so far ahead in the infantry game. He doesn't beat anymore at the infantry, so the Jackson essentially ends the game because the P4 just won't be able to touch it. There's an MG42 turned over now.
That's really interesting shout from Isildur. If he's going for a Jackson, no, he's going for theirs. I was going to say that would have been really exciting though. Engagements on the east side. Major calls artillery down on himself like a true hero. Bazooka's ricochet against the 2-2, forcing it away. Ostrupen trying to survive. Entry points are pegged now at 84, 168 before one of these points can be captured.
A capture point is under attack.
Panzer IV needs to do something and misses. Hits the tractor instead. There's that neutralization though, meaning that one victory point for Isildur means DevM ticked down slightly there, and all these VPs matter, of course.
Yeah. 76mm Sherman's going to be the option, not the regular Sherman.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture
Just couldn't verbalise it. No, I was tongue-tied. I couldn't remember what to say, but that's indeed is what he's gone for, the 76mm variant, or the Jumbo as some people call it. I'm not actually sure if that is the designation, but it's certainly a little bit bigger.
It's not a unit I've really used very often, but I know it's very popular at the minute.
Snowdrift in Stuart there, a little bit of a handbrake turn around the corner, forcing away the MG. And DevM's continuing to tick down. He needs to get his Pack 14 position, get the Ostrupen out of the garrison, and get capping. But the heavy cover that usually is centered around that central victory point is gone. It's not as easy of a task as it otherwise would be.
I think the cover in the middle is odd, to say the least. Kind of hinders the gameplay at the start. Ends up you can't really be just as aggressive.
East side capping cut off here, and he's got the victory point in the bag. Devon really needs that. There's the Ostrooper now. He's trying to block Fallen with the Panzer IV and just distract the MG, but now it focus fires them. Can he neutralise? No, he can't, because the riflemen are close by with that grenade, of course. This could be a really juicy grenade if he tosses it. He doesn't need it.
Packs down on a snare. Sherman can come back in here.
And here's the rumble and the thunder of the engines, taking advantage of the Pack 40 being neutralised. Oh, he's thinking of taking it with the Panzer Grenadiers, but he gets suppressed before he can get there. This is brutal for DevM. He's played so well to get into this, but Isildur's just playing that little bit better. Oh, and he gets in the garrison on that's low bill of health, and it crumbles around him. To add insult to injury, salt in the wound, and a tear in the eye of anybody that wanted to see this series go a little bit longer. It is indeed a disaster.
Isildur was a wee bit slow to bring in the Sherman again, but I think I'm probably forgiven. I'm off for that one.
50 cal watching on the central victory point now. It looks all over for DevM as his 222's career's out of control. Oh, Panzer IV's just been stun rounded by the Stuart as well. Isildur's got an answer to every question here. He does get the Pack 40 back, importantly. He has 39 victory points. Can he somehow rescue victory from the brink of defeat? He needs something big. He needs it to come quickly. He's got a second Panzer.
Skips from the 50 cals. Clutches.
Ostrooper on the toe on the line now. They go prone on their bellies, continuing to cap. Panzer IV goes forward, pushes away the 50 cal, but whilst this is happening north side, this rifleman snuck through the S-mine field and he himself is getting a cap off.
A capture point is under attack.
And monstrous blow up coming in here from Isildur in the middle.
Oh, God.
Packs down again.
This isn't Western France, this is Western Germany almost. This is United States forces just trampling weakened German forces underfoot. Strolling through the centre there with superior.
If there's any other player in the bracket, I'd be terrified. Watching the way Isildur's played these last few games.
They only have 10 points remaining.
Just like we saw DevM dispatch Orange Pest yesterday, there's always a bigger fish. And in this case, in this tournament at least, it is indeed Isildur with a dominant 3-0 victory.
The capture point is being overrun.
Panzer IV with an heroic last action, but its turret cannot traverse in time. GG, well played.
GG.
To Isildur.
And the bug spot at the end, just wouldn't be a go-to game with a bug spot, would it?
Where the fight will be, with half the time we see, twice intensity, it's chaos, Krieg, it's chaos, Krieg.
So GG, well played. Of course, your 3-time world champion, DevM. In this case, losing 3 times against Isildur in a best of 5. So he's out of this tournament, and he's waiting now for the world championships next month. But big props to Isildur, Borrow. We saw some excellent plays today.
Yeah, he was brilliant those 3 games. He genuinely looked a class above. When you're saying that against a player like DevM, it's it's very impressive. It was really good stuff from him.
Certainly is. And let's have a little look at your Messrs. Imperial Dane and Grey Shot, see what's happening on their series today. We'll do a quick vote as to who we raid and give all the viewers to, and therefore take this chat over to. So we'll do a quick vote. No, it's poll I have to put in. There we go. Poll. Question. Dane casting... No. Which one?
I think it's going to be Dane by a landslide here.
You just don't know, though, because it might be the players that they're casting as well. Grey Shot casting... what's his series now? I've still got to watch a Pringles advert, apparently.
Agement v Von Ivan's great
That's
shot.
it. Yeah, that's it.
That's an interesting one too, though.
Von Ivan had some great plays yesterday.
I think this format suits him a lot.
There's your poll, guys. We will raid. I did put it for 10 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Don't vote yet. That's a crap poll. That's 10 minutes long. We don't want to wait 10 minutes. Okay, we'll wait 10 minutes, for God's sake. We can talk for 10 minutes. We'll make it happen. Should definitely put it for less, though. Unless, of course, it's a huge majority. But, Borrow, we've got a lot of shout-outs to give to a lot of people that have made this weekend happen. And there's a lot of benefactors, of course, that have done some... Felix has donated $10. Thanks, Felix. Oh, that's Sir Howie to me. Sorry, Sir Howie. Yeah, I just realised your username. My bad. Came up as something else. But yeah, we've had some new patrons as well. Camel Dealer was a new one. It's a big props to you. It's a major ranked thingy. 102 patrons now, so as you guys can appreciate, that's well more than enough money to keep running these tournaments. But what you may notice is sometimes that number drops, and if you're not a patron, that's your chance to become one. We need to keep this level around this mark, basically. We don't want to get too crazy, but around this mark is perfect. You can have a really good tournament every 2 months with this amount of money. So yeah, and if you want the benefits of being a patron, you get loads of good stuff along with that. I guess, you know, so go for it. Bimbo Aston. Oh, Von Ivan, that's later today. Kimbo versus Von Aston is later today. This poll. Hey, I tell you what, you were wrong, Borrow. It seems
wrong.
like...
I was wrong by quite a long way too.
We'll give it another minute on this one. Give it another minute to get your votes in, guys. A full 60 seconds. We'll time it from my stopwatch here, just to make it fair. Yeah, big thanks to Borrow Badger, of course. Let's go and give Borrow Badger some follows. Let's fill Borrow Badger's follower meter in Twitch up. I think that's only fair, because he's a very entertaining 1v1 streamer. And,
if you want to hear somebody complain about the balance for 3 hours or whatever, then that's your...
Yeah, but you've got an interesting
stream.
accent, so it's fine, you know. You complain.
Mixed reviews in the chat, I've noticed. Mixed reviews.
He's got 414 followers now. I expect that to improve by a considerable margin. So go and follow Mr. Borrow Badger if you've enjoyed his co-casting today. And then next time he streams, you will be alerted to his presence.
Much appreciated. Thanks for having me as well. It's been fun.
I'm hearing some vibrations. Maybe that's...
Yeah, it's the emails I get when I get a follower. So
oh, is it? Yeah, we want to hear more vibrations. We want to positively vibrate the crap out of Borrow Badger. But not in a sexual fashion, more in... There we go. 416. You've had 2. So all your hard work casting today was worth 2 follows, everybody. 2 follows. Come on, guys. It's literally 2 clicks. You click the link, you click follow. Come on. You can do this. All right. Anyway, let's raid Grey Shot. That's who we're going over to. He's got 12 seconds until he's live. Literally catching this at perfect timing. He's 0-0 in his series. So there we go. Going over to Grey Shot. Thanks for watching, everybody. And see you next Saturday for the semi-finals.
All the best.
Raiding in 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye.